Welcome. Thanks for volunteering to be an escort at Core Furniture Bank. You are a vital part of the process. In order to help to make your experience more effective, I'd like to cover some important points of the Escort system. If you have any questions throughout the morning, please see someone in a red vest. When you arrive in the warehouse, please check in by signing our volunteer binder. This helps us keep track of hours of all of our volunteers for our grant writing. If you have not completed one of our emergency medical forms, please see someone in a red vest and they will provide you the form to fill out. Once you have signed in, please go to the vest closet and choose a green vest to put on. It will look like this. Everyone in the warehouse will be wearing a color-coded vest to signify their job. Green vests are for escorts. Dark blue vests are for movers. Light blue vests are for our linen department workers. And red vests, as I said before, are the people that can answer questions throughout the morning. We also have bright yellow vests for our neighbors to wear while they're in the warehouse. You will find a box of blank labels. Please write your first name on a label and then place it in either the red section of your vest or the black section. It'll be one of those two colors. That helps the team know each other's names and helps unify the team. Movers and escorts will gather about 8:45 to establish teams. You will be given a lanyard to wear showing which dock you will be assigned. As you can see, on this lanyard, you would be assigned to dock number 1. For the most part, you'll be working in teams of 2 escorts and 2 movers. Please introduce yourself to your movers on your team and your escorts so that your team becomes unified before beginning the morning. Once all the teams have been established for the morning and you know which dock you've been assigned, we will all gather, neighbors, volunteers, and movers, and we will begin our morning prayer time. Jimmy, one of our seasoned escorts, will recite some scripture and speak, and then Philip will close us in prayer. We are then ready to begin our morning. That starts at 9 a.m. You and your team will come to the front desk and receive a clipboard from the front desk person. It'll look like this. And the front desk person will introduce you to the neighbor in need. At that time, you will welcome them to Core Furniture Bank and have the person who is registered to the voucher and one other adult that they have chosen to accompany them in the warehouse put on their bright yellow vest. They're marked with your dock number on them. No one is allowed in the warehouse without a vest on. Please let the neighbors know that only 2 adults with vests will be allowed from their party back in the warehouse. We do this for safety reasons. You will then ask the person who is the owner of that voucher who in their party is their driver. It may be one of the people who just put on a yellow vest, or it may be another person in their party. Please give a laminated card like this to the driver. It will signify your dock number, and they will take this card, they'll go out to the vehicle that they've brought in for moving, and they will bring it to the appropriate dock. There'll be a man in a red vest out on the dock. He's our dock foreman, and once they've pulled into the dock, he will show him this card, and that proves that he or she is supposed to be in that dock. This card will then come back to the front desk for the next person in line. Please remember that due to liability reasons, we are not to tell the neighbors in need how to load their vehicle. It is the neighbor's responsibility to be in control. The driver plays an important part in helping the neighbor oversee this role. Due to the liability situation, it is the responsibility of neighbors to secure their own items for transport. We can help them, but it is their ultimate responsibility. Escort your neighbors back into the warehouse and find a spot away from the main aisle to keep the narrow aisle clear for movers to move furniture. And review their voucher that's on the clipboard. Write your name in the top right corner of the form so that we know who was responsible for marking the form. It helps us later if we have any questions when we are doing data entry. You'll want to start with the items that are the bulkiest and heaviest first, so the movers can get them into their vehicle first. Please ask what size vehicle they have so that you can visualize what will actually fit into their vehicle. If they will not have enough space on their vehicle to fit everything, ask them which item is the most important thing on their voucher. Sometimes they have very strong ideas about what they would like to get, something that's a very emotional thing. So ask them, make them part of the process. Most times they'll want the beds first, because if that's all they can fit, it's crucial they have beds in order to keep their children at home with them. The rule of thumb is to choose in this order, only if the item is on their voucher. Appliances, because they're heavy and bulky. Sofas, because of their size. Upholstered chairs. Closed storage. Closed storage is anything that has doors on it that can be used to store clothing and get the clothing up off the floors. It may be a dresser. It might be an entertainment center. Any of those things that have doors on them that can hold clothing is considered closed storage. They are only allowed one closed storage item per visit. The next thing that you will be looking at are tables and chairs, mattresses and box springs, bed frames, and desks. Once you've finished loading all of the items that are on their voucher, then stop at the linen department if you have this on your clipboard. It will remind you to go to the linen department. Now, if their voucher does not have any linen items on it, you will not see this blue tag and you can skip going to the linen department. If you do see this blue tag, when you are finished loading the bulky items, go to our linen department and pick up their linens. Penny will have it packaged for you with their name on it. It will also have a sheet of paper on it that says linens list. Please take the linens list off of the bag and place it back on your clipboard because we'll need it for data entry. Then you'll want to continue down the aisle to our end tables, nightstands, TVs, and TV tables. If they are on the voucher, you can have them choose those items and the appropriate number that are on their voucher. As an item is chosen, please ask your moving team to take it to your appropriate dock and load it. Repeat this process as you move through the warehouse. If this is their first of 2 visits to the warehouse and you have time left on your 15-minute escort, you can take your team with the neighbors and allow the neighbors to choose items from our secondary aisle. You need to go through this section very quickly. Your aim is to complete the voucher in less than 15 minutes. Please inform your neighbors that this has to be done very quickly. Have your movers carry the items that they choose out to their vehicle to move things along. If the process of choosing primary items, the items that they need to survive, has taken up the 15 minutes, the choosing of secondary items, non-essential items, will need to be suspended, and they can, if time permits, on their last trip, go through the secondary items aisle.